The brain registers an injury or betrayal as a concrete neurological debt. It is a physiological disruption that demands a specific form of repayment to restore order. This perceived imbalance triggers an obsessive drive to retaliate. Your mind becomes fixated on a single goal, forcing the offender to experience the same level of distress they inflicted on you. Science shows anticipating payback ignites the brain's reward center. This diagram tracks how retaliation maps directly to a pleasure node. This is a hardware issue. Your brain uses the same revenge circuitry to reward basic survival, like finding a meal or shelter. This is the biological deception of anger. Your neurobiology physically promises causing someone else pain will be the mechanism that stops your own. Your mind begins scripting a flawless internal movie. In this version, the person who hurt you finally sees the truth, feels the weight of their actions, and offers a perfect apology.
Running this mental simulation provides a temporary, powerful surge of satisfaction. It allows you to feel a sense of control that was stolen during the original injury. The catch is that the chemical reward is tied to the chase. The brain provides the dopamine during the planning and the anticipation, but that supply dries up the moment the fantasy ends. Real human beings rarely cooperate with these scripts. In reality, the offender is likely to stay defensive, angry, or entirely indifferent to your pain. Because this version of closure requires the participation of an unpredictable person, the emotional resolution promised by the brain stays out of reach. Maintaining a revenge mindset requires a constant supply of cognitive energy. That energy doesn't travel outward to harm your target. It stays internal, wearing down your systems. Obsessing over the past keeps the body in a state of chronic high alert. This perception of threat causes cortisol levels to spike and remain elevated for months or years. This hormonal flood has measurable physical consequences. It suppresses immune function, creates persistent inflammation, and destroys restorative sleep. The revenge-obsessed mind is anchored to the moment of the wound. The internal timeline loops back repeatedly, while the rest of the world moves forward. Notice the gap. The external timeline fills with new experiences, while the inner loop stays completely isolated. Every hour spent refining a plan for payback is an hour you are voluntarily handing over to the person who hurt you. They are occupying your most valuable real estate, your current time, and your future potential. In the rare cases where someone actually achieves their planned revenge, they do experience a few seconds of genuine biological triumph. That thrill is almost immediately followed by a profound psychological emptiness. Once the target is defeated, the fuel is gone, but the original pain remains. This reveals that the agony was never actually about the other person's existence. The pain comes from what the betrayal subtracted from your life: the loss of safety, the destruction of a future, or the death of trust. Attacking someone else's life cannot rebuild the internal structures you lost. You are left standing over their wreckage, but your own house is still empty. Letting go is frequently misidentified as a sign of weakness or an act of excusing the original injury. In biological terms, letting go is an act of self-preservation. It is a decision to stop the self-inflicted damage of the cortisol loop so that the body can begin its own repair process. This topographical map illustrates the neurological shift of healing. The prefrontal cortex reclaims control from the fear-driven centers. As the region stabilizes, a cooling effect moves through the nervous system. Pulse lines that were once jagged smooth out into a steady wave. This shift feels like the sudden removal of an incredibly heavy weight, one you had been carrying so long you had forgotten it was an external burden. The human body is evolutionarily designed for repair and release. Holding a grudge is an unnatural defiance of your own biological urge to heal. When the neurological revenge cycle finally breaks, it fundamentally changes how a person interacts with the world around them. There is a massive influx of available cognitive energy. Once that energy is no longer consumed by anger, it can be redirected toward new goals and clearer thinking. People who reach this stage often project a sense of earned gratitude. This gratitude is not for the injury itself, but for the resilience they discovered within themselves. They are grateful for the capacity they found to survive and move forward. Freedom is the only form of revenge that actually works. It is the only outcome that restores your time, your health, and your future.